What's going on? Today I'm with good friends Tyler Sutter.
What up?
And Carl Skeens.
How we doing?
Of 20 Penny Circus. I had the pleasure to perform with them a couple days ago in Orlando, Florida, and we just finished performing here in St. Petersburg. What's up, guys?
Chillin'. How are you?
So tell me, what's it like being the 20 Penny Circus, and how'd you guys start?
Okay, well, I guess longer story is we started, both of us were magicians and dabbling in the world of Sideshow, and I was working at Universal Studios in the magic show that they used to have there, and Carl ended up getting a job at that magic show, and at that time I was the one training all the magicians, so my boss sent Carl over to me, which was interesting because Carl was actually, at the time, probably still is, a better magician than I am. So he comes, sits down and watches my show, and I'm like, all right, I gotta teach you how to do all this. And then anyways, he ended up showing me a bunch of cool magic.
Very cool.
And he knew a lot more Sideshow stuff. So then, yeah, we just kind of started trading stuff back and forth. I would show him some things and he would show me some Sideshow stuff, and then I got a gig that was too big for my britches, one of those big semi-truck trailer kind of stages, and I was actually I was doing a dove act at the time. I was trying to find a girl that could
act. Okay.
Yeah, so you know,
and the linking rings and the linking rings.
Like it was like straight up cheese ball magic, right? Which you would never catch me dead doing that anymore. But anyways, I was looking for a female dancer that could be like my, magician's assistant, try to, put some more bodies on the stage and take up some more space. And she ended up falling through at the last minute. I only knew Carl for about a week at a time, and I asked him like, hey, come do this show with me, bring to the table what you have, I'll bring what I have, we'll do like a collective show. We ended up doing that show. It was 3 shows in one day. We did those 3 shows. Basically all the reactions from the audience were like, oh my god, you guys have been doing this forever together, or you're brothers or something. So our takeaway from that was that we had the stage chemistry there, but when we watched the video of that show, we pretty much hated all of the material that we did. So we scrapped the entire show. We got a variety of booze and other substances, and we did this lockdown where we locked ourselves in his house for 4 days, and we just worked on everything. We wrote down everything we can do, all the things we want to do, and we ended up writing the show that we thought would be the coolest show. The show that we would want to sit down in a theater and see. So after our 4-day lockdown, we emerged from the lab, and I had my white face on, and he had his white face on, and we developed these characters, and we had a lot better material to bring to the table, and we kind of went from there. And then flash forward to now, 8 years later, all of our material has evolved. We've learned so many other skills and stunts. We've merged slightly away from the magic, in our stage show at least, away from the magic into the more Sideshow stunt kind of.
I gotta say, you guys are amazing. Performing with them, those who don't know, 20 Penny Circus does these incredible Sideshow stunts. One thing, they do the Blockhead, which is like the nail through the nose. You guys also do the sword swallowing, the glass walking, and to perform with you guys was awesome. I had a blast. Tell me this, where does 20 Penny Circus come from? Where's the name come from?
It comes from the nail that I use when I'm doing Blockhead. It is a 20 penny nail. Originally, we were the 20 Penny Opera, just because we thought it was peculiar to sell a different show than the show that you actually received. And then after like a month, we changed opera to Circus and never looked back, I don't think.
We never looked back, but the funniest thing was we did 2-3 shows under the name 20 Penny Opera, and I shit you not, until this day, for some reason that name has followed us around.
Every interview we do, every time a reporter, we're working a fringe festival and somebody's talking to us about our history, they all know about the 20 Penny Opera, and that showed up on other people's flyers. We never wrote that in print media at all.
Even a year and a half ago, we got a write-up for a show we did at the Tampa Improv.
Okay,
and
cool.
It was under the headline of the 20 Penny Opera performs at the Improv, and I was like that has been, it's been 6 years since we've used that name. Like, how the hell is it still following us around when we never put it in print? It's always been other people that have. So
Well, let's go back to this. You said you use a 20 penny nail to go in your nose.
Yes.
How does one practice that?
I mean, I'd like to say you don't, but you totally do. I started with eyeglasses and Bic pens before I moved on to the nail, just because in my head they sounded a whole lot less dangerous. As it turns out, those are a lot worse ideas than learning it with the nail. But it is a very old Sideshow stunt. A guy named Melvin Burkhart originated it. The idea was he was a Sideshow performer that was also a boxer, and he got his nose broken. And when he goes to the doctor is rooting around with the forceps in his nose to take out bone fragments, and that's when he realizes I can stick stuff in my nose like that far, and he turned it into a Sideshow act.
Wow, very
and
cool.
Sideshow performers have been doing it ever since.
How'd you get into sword swallowing?
By the nature of our material and in the world of Sideshow, there is a finite number of stunts, and we pretty much mastered all of them except for sword swallowing. Before sword swallowing, I was working on the human pin cushion.
Human pin cushion, what's that?
Driving like 14 to 16 gauge needles through parts of your body. I do this cheek and my throat. So I use 3 different needles. Sometimes I'll do my arms. Or like the tops of my pec.
I see you have a bag here. Do you have any of your wild props in there, or maybe a sword you can show somebody?
I do have a sword. So basically, after mastering the human pin cushion, I knew that I wanted to learn sword swallowing. It was one of the last of the Sideshow stunts. Properly the last, because it is the most dangerous and the most difficult to do. It does take the longest amount of time to master sword swallowing. So one thing about sword swallowing is it's not something you want to learn by yourself. It's something that you definitely want to have a professional sword swallower to show you the ropes and to teach you. And lucky enough for me, I was hanging out with some performers in a bar, and a gentleman named Johnny Fox walked in. And I knew what Johnny looked like. I've never met him before. And I said, "Hey, Johnny Fox." I leaned over to my wife. Johnny Fox just walked in the building. And I showed Johnny Fox a stunt that I originated that no one else in the world does. I showed him that stunt, and he asked me about it, and he wanted to know a little bit more about it. So I told him I'd basically show him the inside of the ropes on that if he would show me sword swallowing. So the next day, I actually shot him a message over Facebook, and he started to teach me how to make a sword for sword swallowing.
So this is custom.
So it is a custom sword. Yeah, customized by me, I guess. You do need a couple of tools to be able to do it. It's not, basically you have to cut the sword down to the length, and the proper length is how far of a distance it is between your mouth and the bottom of your stomach. You don't want to swallow anything longer than that, obviously. So after he showed me how to properly cut the sword and edge it up so it was perfect for swallowing, I went out, I bought a sword, and I did all of that. And then over the internet and phone conversations, he started to teach me how to relax your gag reflex and do all of the physical and mental things you need to do to be able to swallow the sword.
Wow.
So now it's been 3 years, and
Awesome.
Sword just like that.
That was awesome. Thank you, man. Okay, Carl, you're walking on glass. Real glass, is it?
Yes, real glass.
Tell me, what's up? How did that happen? And where did you actually decide, okay, I want someone to step on my face on glass?
Well, glass.
This is why I call you crazy. By the way, I call him Crazy Carl, and I call this Twisted Tyler. Good friends of mine, but man, you're crazy. That's insane.
Okay, glass walking is actually, it's kind of an older stunt, walking on things that should lacerate toes and lop off joints on your feet. But much like the bed of nails, it is totally doable. It's totally doable. It is dangerous. I walk in the glass, I jump in the glass, and then we used to light the glass on fire. But now I place my face in the glass and let a girl in the audience stand on my head and grind my face in.
I remember that from the show.
Yeah.
That was insane.
And I mean, yeah.
This is real glass. I mean, where is the glass coming from? Bottles
beer
that
we
get out?
drink.
We drink a lot of beer.
We drink a lot of beer.
So this is real beer bottle
Yes.
glass. This is
We
something
drink
you can
more Bud
Get out of the
Light.
store, 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just crack and put it in the...
Absolutely. But every single show, I do cut myself. Every single show, I get shards of glass in my face and in my feet.
Wow.
But it's the price you pay. It's like fire. Anyone that works with fire, there's an old Circus and Sideshow rule that you've either been burned or you're going to get burned. And Lucian, even
I
you
learned quickly.
fire.
I learned quickly.
And at this point,
what to do and what not
it's
to
not
do.
that you don't ever burn yourself. It's that you are so good to burn yourself the least amount possible.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same rules with glass.
Yep.
You just
safety first. You practice first without the fire,
Yes.
and then you work your way up to make sure it's solid.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep. And that's exactly how it
10
works.
times out of 10 before you even light it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the glass, you don't just walk across the floor because that's boring. You just have to jump into the fucking glass.
Yeah.
Tell me, I want to hear. What's some crazy stories? Any crazy stories that you guys had backstage,
Okay.
or
So
something
the-
you can share with
so
someone
many
that's listening?
crazy. There's so many crazy stories. The craziest one is we do a trick where we have 4 pneumatic roofing nail guns.
It's a
We
nail,
have
nail gun.
Nail guns.
Okay.
Like, that you plug into an air compressor and you like tack down.
I'm excited.
You know,
This sounds-
shingles, right?
This is gonna be
So
fun. Okay.
we
Nail guns.
we have this stunt, and so we have 4 pneumatic roofing nail guns, and one of them is loaded with nails.
Mm-hmm.
And then the audience gets to shuffle them up so we can't see and the rest of the audience can't see, and then I shuffle them up so even the person shuffling doesn't know. They get to shuffle them one more time, so literally no one in the theater knows which gun is loaded. And then we number them simply 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the audience collectively gets to choose the number, and it doesn't matter what number they choose. I grab the gun and I hold it up to his hand,
This is like
and
Russian
I
roulette.
pull the trigger. It's Russian roulette with
Wait.
with
Hold on.
roofing
You pull the
nails.
trigger. You're the one taking the.
He's
Yes.
the one taking it.
Yes.
Yes.
Talking about trust, man.
So
I
when
love
we
it.
did Halloween Horror Nights, we did that trick 163 times.
Oh, that's right.
Without fail.
Let me make sure I say this. I saw these guys at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Florida. When I first saw them, I knew these guys were a class act at the Beetlejuice stage right there at Universal. You guys did such a great show. You guys were there every night of Halloween Horror Nights.
Over 160 shows, 1,200 people each show.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, it was a lot
So
of work.
you did that at Halloween Horror
So
Nights?
we did that at Halloween Horror Nights.
I remember
and,
that. I remember that.
We were really scared
Yeah.
because like it's not a magic
Wait a
trick.
minute, you were scared.
And
You're the
we're
one
scared.
doing the trick.
We're scared because it's not magic. So there is like a possibility for him to actually get shot with a nail out of a roofing nail gun
Wow.
at 120 psi, right? So the fear for us was really there of getting
Well,
him getting
more
shot.
than-
and
Even
the-
they knew. We told them everything else in the show is going to be fine. I cut myself, he cuts himself. That's cool. But if I die on stage, it's going to be during this
yeah.
dumb
So
stunt.
only one
Wow.
gun is loaded, so there's 3 empty guns. So the first gun is supposed to go to his hand, the second gun goes to his neck, and the third gun goes to his temple.
Jeez. Okay. Crazy Carl. Now you understand why I call him.
And so we get through all 163 shows. We get through all of them, and unscathed, none of us get hurt. So now we're real cocky about it. The next year we do it in a Spiegel tent for the Fringe Festival in New York. Again, we do 26 shows, all completely fine. The year after that, we go on tour. We tour from here to Rochester, New York and back. Our third location, we were in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we did that trick, and I shot a nail straight through his hand.
So it goes in. I hold my hand up. He shoots the nail. It goes in. It goes
Where's
all the way
this?
through here. You can't even tell anymore. It tinted the skin up on this side. We had an audience full of people. As soon as it goes in, I look at it and I don't say anything.
Wow.
And Tyler looks at it and he immediately goes, "Well, that shouldn't be there." And he reaches over and he pulls this nail out of my hand. It's glistening with droplets of blood on it.
You're on stage right
yes,
now.
like
In
they
front
were
of everybody.
rubies on stage. And I'm supposed to do the dick lift right after, but at this point I've got a nail through my hand, so I'm not going to be lifting a bowling ball right away. And Tyler looks at me and he goes, "I'll swallow a sword." And I leave stage. I take out my pocket handkerchief. I wrap it around like a boss. And I look back on stage. Tyler's done with swords. And I walk on stage and finish the show. And afterwards,
True professional right there.
everyone in the audience thought it was a bit. After I got shot in the hand, we
Yeah.
even looked at him and we're like, this was supposed to be like a 5-minute thing, but It's not. It's over now. And do you know whose fault that is? It's your fault. And they just thought it was a bit. At the end of the show, there were audience members that I knew that I hadn't seen in years, and they're all like, "Oh, that was really funny."
Let me tell you something. This is why we wore red, because it helps to, like, you know, if we have if we have any blood match.
So,
and by the way, we look great. I'm happy that we actually matched today.
It's
really great for show, man.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
Even my phone case.
So go ahead. Yep, keep going.
Another crazy story that involves Halloween Horror Nights is we had 6 days of rehearsals, of tech rehearsals before the show opens. Day number 3, we do a trick where I get tied to a chair, he gets put in a straitjacket, and we race to the finish.
Okay, so those who don't know about this, what they do is, Carl, you'll get 2 guys to put you in a straitjacket, kind of a Houdini style.
Yes.
And you're trying to escape from the straitjacket, so it's an escape race. And Tyler's getting tied around in a chair with 2 guys, big burly guys, really tying you hard. And at the end of the time, it's about who gets out first.
Yes.
Okay. Wait.
I normally win.
Yeah. But
It's the liquid courage. So I need to have that beer holder on your mic stand.
Not to give anything away, but it's scripted into that.
Well, no, wait. He pushes you.
Is the push, right? And so we were actually working out some new blocking for Horror Nights, where instead of him like shoulder checking me, he wanted to kick me like 300, like. Right?
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, kick the ambassador into the pit.
So what happened was, the first time we tried that, his heel slipped
off.
No,
the first time went great.
It was day 3 rehearsals. We were still working on getting the kick, and he wears tap shoes. So his heel slipped off the backing of the chair, and he hit me right in the ribs, and then I fell over, and I broke my rib right here, the one basically right under my heart.
Wow.
Now, we're in day 3 rehearsals, working for a huge corporation that would have canned the entire show if they found out. So me and Carl didn't say anything. My mom's a nurse. I went to my mom. She's like, it's definitely broken and fucking poking out. She said, here's the problem. If you go to the hospital with a broken rib like that, all they're gonna be able to do is bandage you up. They're gonna ace bandage you up and tell you not to do anything. Well, we have a lot of money and over 160 shows on the line, so me and Carl promised, we won't tell anybody anything. We'll take care of each other as much as we can, and we won't say anything. So I had to take that chair fall 163 times with a broken rib, and then I had to lift. The worst part was having to lift the guillotine blade up. I had to lift it up with a broken rib every single day, 6 times a day.
Every single night we'd be at home and he'd be pulling glass out of my feet with tweezers, and I'd be wrapping him up in a ace bandage, only to unwrap him right before we got back on property at the theme park.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then literally the last day, we told everybody.
Really?
When the show was over and we were about to walk out, we have a crew of 12 people, and we go, hey, Tyler's had a broken rib the entire time.
Oh, we thought he was a really good actor.
Yeah. And all of them were like, if you would have said something, they would have canned the whole show.
So tell me this. How does your makeup? Okay, how did you guys decide why you wanted to wear this makeup and why you want to wear that
Okay,
makeup?
he made his years ago. He was working in a haunted house and came up with the clown character, and this is his clown character makeup that once he found it, he never changed. My makeup used to change every single show, and then I play a lot of video games, and I found the inspiration from Up My Face in a certain underwater themed video game. Number 1, not 2 or 3. Always got to stick with number 1. And yeah, once I did that, I got a better
What's the game?
response.
What's the video game?
Bioshock, bro.
Okay.
Have you played Bioshock?
Bioshock, yeah, I remember that.
Oh my
Back
god.
in the day.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Sandra Cohen, the craziest character in that franchise.
Very cool.
And yeah, once I landed on this face and started exaggerating things and adding more facial hair, I got a better response to this than I did the sugar skull stuff I was doing before.
Yeah. Why the mustache?
The mustache was not this big. It was a small, like Gomez Adams mustache, but that came from the game. The soul patch I had to add because without it, a big white chin, I look like I have Jay Leno chin, and that's not good.
It triangulates his face out.
All right, Tyler, what about yours?
I came up with mine when I was 17. I was working for a haunted attraction. We had to come up with our own character. So I literally developed this entire look and character when I was 17. Didn't meet him until later. He's laughing because those people looked at us weird.
Yeah. Oh wait, we have lots of people here. Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
And so tell me this: how many hours? Let's go back to practicing. When do you guys practice your stunts before a show? Like, what kind of practice do you do now?
So many of our stunts are so dangerous. Like you practice them, but only to a certain. Like sword swallowing takes like years of practice, but then once you get it, sword swallowing is something that I do every single day by myself, 4 times. I'll wait.
That's fine. You good? I can hear you.
It's 4 different times. Like I swallow the sword 4 times, and that's because if I don't swallow the sword, reflexes will kick back in, and then I'll have a difficult time when I go to do it for show. So if I'm not doing a show, I'll swallow 4 times.
So what did you practice back then to now?
We used to live together.
We used to live together,
We
and
practiced
most
everything.
of the time it was practicing magic or theatrical ideology is what we do and still practice the most. As far as like stunts, I mean, I think I can count on one hand how many times he's walked on glass not in front of a person.
I practiced the stripping for the dick lift. I'm not just gonna strap a 12-pound bowling ball to my dick with no audience members.
Okay, let's go back to that. Let's explain that so people don't know.
I do a wonderful mashup of the music from Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On," along with the vocals from Justin Timberlake's "Suit and Tie." I do a wonderful boylesque striptease to that song, and then I strap a 12-pound bowling ball to my dick piercing, and then I lift it, I swing it back and forth, and then I spin in a circle with the bowling ball still. Yeah, there's our show cues.
I think they get the idea, so but they have to watch the show.
But yeah,
Let's save the show.
I lift it, I spin it, I swing it, and then I walk off stage naked, and it's a killer.
It's a definite high
people.
point in our show versus what happened prior to that, which is like this weird, deep, like my pincushion act, which is like weird,
pretty intense.
And then
it's
like
pretty
the
intense.
high point is like dick lift right after that, and I smooth it out with sword swallow. It's actually like the perfect moment in our show. Super comedic. He gets naked. How can you not laugh?
So the practicing, you said that you guys do that back in the day a lot, but now how do you guys practice now for shows?
We get together.
You live together at the time?
We practice over Skype. We practice over this app called Marco Polo as well, which is like Skype but walkie-talkie version.
Yeah.
And then when we practice over Skype, if we need any like together stuff, we'll do that a couple days before a gig.
But the truth is, how our show is now, the hour stage act that we do, we've been doing for so many years that we don't have to practice much if we don't change anything. All of that is pretty solid. As far as what we always try to think and add is just theatrical ideology.
Okay.
Is really where the show itself now is super awesome and we really like it, and the best way to like push it forward is instead of changing acts, instead of changing like bits in it, we just try to add, if there's any dead time, the segues between one trick to another. We try to use either like lighting cues or just general theatrics to move forward in that way. So like where we are now is we work on blocking a lot, making sure that there's not one footstep on the stage is a wasted step or without purpose.
Awesome.
You know.
Awesome.
So it's really just taking the act that we have now and tightening it down as much as possible. Like in my head, the end game is not a step with your foot or a word out of your mouth should be done without purpose.
Your show's never finished. You never stop learning.
No, you gotta get to a point where you focus on how many times you say it or the. Like simple little words, you want to either take them away or add them to a new place where it just makes everything more powerful.
So let's go to that. One of the last questions. I have 2 more. Thank you very much for this. What would you recommend as advice for someone that wants to go ahead and perform like you guys do? Any advice?
Got this. Dance studios.
Yeah, that's number one.
I shit you not. If you were a magician, if you're a variety performer, anything like that, I grew up in a dance studio. I taught tap, jazz, musical theater, and swing. I work for dance competitions in the off season. Every magician and variety performer that I know, 90% of them don't know how to move on stage fluidly or comfortably. And just taking I don't care, you never plan on doing ballet in front of an audience, take a ballet class. It's that simple.
But just think of this. NFL players have to take ballet.
Right?
Why shouldn't you? You're a stage
NBA,
performer.
take ballerina,
You're
ballet.
athletes, they have to do it. You're a stage performer, you should do it. The other thing, is learn everything you can about theater tech. Learn everything you can about audio and about lighting, because most of us variety entertainers have to do all of it ourselves. So you gotta learn what XLR versus quarter-inch inputs are.
What's a snake? You gotta know what a snake is.
You gotta learn,
What's
you
a
have
chord?
to learn all of that. Like if you walk into a venue and the audio guy comes up to you, you have to be able to speak his language. Otherwise, you're not gonna get what you want out of it. So those are the two biggest ones are take a dance class and take stage tech.
One last thing, what has performing done for you? What's the gift that it's given back to you? People travel the world, done so much. What is it giving back to you, Tyler?
An awesome life, for one. For two, it's given me the opportunity to give way more back than I got out of it. The ability to show people things that they've never seen before, or the ability to show people that the human body is more powerful than they initially believed. And just the fact that we are entertainers doing like the dream, we're able to show people that the dream is possible as long as you put the effort and the work into it.
Very cool. Very cool.
Okay, I've been working professionally since I was like 7. I've had a better resume than a lot of dudes in like my age bracket. And I feel like it was the family business. It was the thing that I believed in. It was the thing that made me happy. Harry Anderson. Harry Anderson, the actor, is also an amazing magician. And when he won Magician of the Year at the Magic Castle in the 70s, he had a really good quote about magic, but I'll make it about entertainment. If you believe in entertainment enough, eventually entertainment will start to believe in you.
Very cool. There you have it, 20 Penny Circus. I love you guys. Thanks for that. I really appreciate it. All right, now let's go get some sushi. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.
And probably fuck
fall
up the bigger
down, but they
dudes
also fall up.
at least not enough to run away.
Here.
But
You can do it
if
too.
you don't have to use it,
Come on,
because think about, like,
catch it. Put your hand above mine.
carry mace
Okay.
and tasers
Higher,
in your
like,
purse. In a
Don't
good
move,
year,
watch it.
you'll never
Don't
have
move.
to take that out of your purse. So the Yellow Jacket phone case is a taser, but when you don't have to use it, it adds 12 hours of battery life.
Awesome.